Good morning. It's Wednesday, March 3rd. I'm Jason Stanton. I serve as senior pastor at First Lutheran in Onalaska, Wisconsin. This is my morning musing for today, and I was thinking about what does this mean again, that being, well, as a Lutheran, that's kind of our question almost all the time. What does this mean? In the good, in the bad, in the who knows what, and all the doubts. Over this past year, I think we've had lots of opportunities to ask, what does this mean? For Bible readers today, I read from Kings the story of Naaman, and that might be one of the more famous stories. I'm just remembering. It was 2 Kings 5 through, well, chapter 5 is where it is. And, you know, Naaman is an Aramean, not a king, he's an Aramean military great man. You know, I imagine a big general type who is used to telling people what to do, and they do it. And he's all that you know, ancient military leader, great person would be in our mind's eye, in our imagination. And he, of course, had a great victory over Israel itself. And then he comes to an Israelite prophet, Elisha, for a healing. And after he is healed, he wants to pay. You know, like, wow, thank you so much. I mean, just out of genuine gratitude, he's like, Elisha, I've got all this lot of wealth that I've brought with me, and it's, you know, where can I take it? And Elisha's like, no, don't worry about it. And then he converts to believing in the one true God. It's an amazing story. And my commentary reminded me that it's a story that exiles from Israel probably liked to tell each other as they tried to make sense of a military defeat. Like, why did the Lord allow for the Arameans to defeat our Israelite army? And one reason may be, well, to show the greatness of God and how gracious and merciful he is in this healing, and then to convert this man to follow the Lord. It's a way of looking back and making sense of something. And I guess that's what I was thinking. That, you know, what does this mean? Oftentimes is a question we ask after something has happened. We look back and we say, you know, in the moment, it was almost impossible to understand how that dating disaster could possibly be a good thing, because at the time it was just painful. Or how that job that I just absolutely failed at and got fired from, in the moment, it was virtually impossible to know how that would help me in the long run. Or, you know, mistakes we've made with friends, or in a marriage that went bad, or there's all kinds of things we do that as we look back, we might say, oh, you know, what it may have meant for me, for my relationship with God, for all these other things. I wouldn't have seen that at the time, but looking back, I see how God was in it. And it made me think of, not that God makes relationships go sour or makes me be terrible at a job so that I get fired or any of that. It's that, you know, God is in the business of making life from death, light from darkness, taking brokenness and mending it. And I think knowing that that's who our God is, you know, in this story of Naaman, it's not that God, at least our theology, our understanding of God, would say it's not that God picks a side in a war in order to, but once a war is done, then how can God make sense of or make good come from bad? And it made me think of a song, a Rascal Flatts song from years ago, God Bless the Broken Road That Led Me Straight to You. Do you remember this song? God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. I just massacred that song. I really did. But you can look it up or whatever. But it's a song about how in all the broken roads that life is full of, we can have God make life come from those deaths, light come from those darknesses. And what it reminds me of is that in the moment of defeat, or in the moment of pain, or in the moment of suffering, it's really hard to listen to that wisdom. That this pain-filled moment could be something that pulls us closer to God, that pulls us closer to neighbor. Maybe we'll have greater understanding for a neighbor, or a deeper understanding of God's mercy. But it can be hard to listen, since that's our theme for the week, that we are called again and again to listen. It can be hard to listen to that wisdom when we're in the pain and the suffering. We don't want to sit in the darkness as we make our way toward light. We don't want to sit in brokenness as we may even believe that there will be a time when God will mend. We just want to get to the mending. We want to get to the light. We want to get to the life. And so I guess I would encourage us as we are in Lent to listen today and consider that the worst, whatever that worst might be for you right now, that might not be all there is. That God could maybe use the worst later to grow us into even more loving, deeper loving creatures of God. And so as we listen, I hope that's a way for us to keep faith alive today.